I have to celebrate you, baby.
Is he gonna play every point like that?
Knees up like a unicorn.
Every year there's so many campaigns that infuriate you. You know, we're a competitive industry. It's usually the ones that are so mind-numbingly simple, like you can't believe no one's struck on that.
All the time, we're jealous all the time.
I like a lot the work that Fernando Machado is doing at Burger King. You know, the Whopper the Tour, I think for me was genius.
Viva la Vulva, it's like, I wish I had done that. I love the New York Times stuff. David Rubin with Droga 5.
I built this empire. I did it by myself.
There's always enough to remind you that you're not as good as you think you are. Pick a Nike ad from the last decade or two.
Everybody's talking about Nike.
Every marketer here will probably say the same thing around Nike.
I think what they did this year around just reaffirming their purpose and their commitment to athletes and the voice of that. As a marketer, it's just great admiration for what they do.
They are so dedicated to the idea of making things for athletes and being authentic.
I think the Kaepernick thing I'm jealous of because of this perfect storm coming together. And it's pretty hard to take, a soft drink and do that with, or a chip to do that with. Somebody did something that was larger than advertising, larger than a marketing idea. They did it from their heart and their gut.
So don't ask if your dreams are crazy. Ask if they're crazy enough.
A brand that I have like a marketer crush on, I've had one for a long time, is Red Bull. It's not about campaign specifically, but it's about how they take a brand and passion points and create new things around it. And starting as like a energy drink and moving into basically being like a media creative entertainment entity is like a total reframe of the market.
See, for me, one of the all-time great campaigns that I have seen, it's a print ad in 1995 or so. It was a print ad by Harley-Davidson's competitor. It's a Ducati basically, and they show a guy who looks like a Harley-Davidson person in the leather jackets, the beard, the beer belly, and the metal studs and all that stuff, standing in front of a Ducati motorcycle. And actually he wetted his pants and you can see the puddle around his feet. It doesn't say anything else. This is absolutely incredible how much they have managed to communicate, and in such a brilliant way, leveraging the identity of their competitor.
There's brands that I think have tried to really course correct their personal image. Like if I think about Barbie with Mattel in particular, and to see this campaign where it actually showed a young girl who was in real life situations as a child, but, running a classroom or running a sports team. And you flash back to this final scene where it actually shows the little girl in her room that these are the things that she's imagining about her life. As we know, this was a brand that found itself under tremendous fire because of the way in which Barbie is shaped, and it not being reflective and sending a good signal to children in terms of how they need to look in order to be successful in our world. It was probably and still remains my favorite campaign, called Imagine the Possibilities.
The famous one, the 1984 ad in the Super Bowl from Apple, that they just had the courage to do that ad, to know that what your message was right, and to be that brave to go on such a platform as the Super Bowl to do that ad. For me, that was always just, brilliant.
Reporters Without Borders in Germany, in fact, they were realizing, of course, there are many countries down the world where there's not freedom of the press. And they realized that though traditional media was banned in many of these places, apps or platforms like Spotify weren't banned, right? You could access music. So they found, the local journalists who were publishing the really important content. They found local artists, songwriters, and musicians to turn those articles into songs. And it became a very underground movement where people could hear the news of the day through what appeared to be simple music, pop songs.
I saw the Palau Pledge, and it was a very clever campaign where tourists that are coming to the Palau Island, mostly probably to dive, they have to actually sign a pledge, and they get a stamp in their passport, and that engages them personally. And I think that's such a clever way to create personal engagement in something that's really important.
It's just some ideas that you're so relieved that someone's created, and as I said, you're secretly jealous,
But you know, the Palau campaign last year, I think that was a fantastic one.
Children of Palau, I take this pledge as your guest.
The art of the success of anything is that it's in the bloodstream of everybody. Everybody gets it.